for the life of me, I can't figure out what kind of video I'm going to make today. So it's going to be something with the truck, I think. Let's go. I need to sand some filler. I also need to pull an engine. I'd rather sand filler, but the engine really needs to come out. But I'm not looking forward to doing that. We can probably start on that, at least maybe get the core support out. But then I gotta drain everything, and I'm just not motivated today. I gotta get the truck out of here by spring though. Almost ready for paint. There's a couple more spots to fill. I'm gonna knock down some rust on it here and there. But it's almost ready. Then I can do the interior. And then, who knows. But the engine needs to come out, so let's do that. Trying out a new microphone today because of the debacle with the last one. I made a video last week. Was it last week? It might have been 2 weeks ago. Whenever I made that video. As you can see, I pulled the front clip off of the truck. But a lot of that footage didn't make it on YouTube because the audio was so bad. It was just horrible. I have one of these little lavalier mics or a lapel mic, and it squealed. Just a squealing sound. God, it sounded horrible. It picked up every little sound of the furnace and shit, so that's not what we do. But yeah, so I got the front clip off of the truck for the most part, all the sheet metal's off, pulled the fenders, they're sitting over there, hood. And now I need to get the core support off of it, which is rotten, but it's not a show truck, so I think it's just going to go back in if it survives removal. God only knows. Radiator's got to come out. We have to responsibly extract all of the refrigerant out of it so we can get the condenser out. Then we can pull this whole core support. I might even just leave the radiator in it. As long as it's drained, it can all stay bolted together. The radiator's good in this truck yet, so might as well. And I've got snacks, so happy Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon, so I don't care. Had to fix the furnace. The furnace took a shit on me, so I had to spend my morning tracking down an igniter for the furnace, which is pretty cool. So yeah, your furnace doesn't work when the igniter takes a dump. And, yeah, it's not supposed to look like that. It's broke. It's broke. Whatever. We got a new one. So she's up there running. It's warming up. And I'm still in a jacket because it's like 60. Yeah, it's like 60, 65 in here. I don't like to be cold, so I'm trying to stay warm. So let me get some pans set up here and we'll drain the radiator. And I don't think I'm going to responsibly extract all of the refrigerant into a recycling machine on camera because that is it's loud. So let's get on it. I gotta clean my shit up first. Something interesting that I found with this truck too, when I got this truck, the battery terminal was kind of a pile of crap in it. So I put this, it's ghetto, but you know, I did that. And then it had this aftermarket negative terminal here. But then as I'm digging around in here, I find the factory negative terminal, so yeah, God only knows what the hell happened there. So I'll get that straightened out. As we get the engine out, I'm going to straighten out a lot of the the little nuances like this and some of the work that's been done on it previously. The engine bay is getting all detailed. Probably going to replace the valve covers too. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. If you can see that down there, that valve cover is like super freaking rusty. So we're going to replace these valve covers altogether. Put an oil pan on it. The oil pans like to rust out in these. Plus it needs a rear main, and it's just tired. It's got at least 160,000, if not more. It's got a bunch of blow-by. It's got piston slap when it's cold, so it needs to be rebuilt. So we're doing rings. We're doing rear main, complete reseal on it, so it gets rid of all the oil leaks. Probably, well, of course, it's going to get head gaskets. Probably a valve job. So we'll get her fixed up. It's going to be a good engine by the time it's done. Got my core support bolts soaking right now. I'm going to track down a drain pan somewhere. I don't remember where I put it, but we'll find it. Get a drain pan so we can drain all the shit out of it, and then we'll get this core support taken off and see what we got. There we go. So got the drain pan. That's going to go under here. What we're going to do right now is drain this radiator. So up underneath there, get a light. So up underneath here, you'll see on the side of this radiator, there's this white nut here. Get down here, this guy right there. So that's your drain. It's called a drain cock. So we're going to take our custom tool for that. We're going to break that nut loose. So get your favorite wrench on there and just give her a twist. Fan shroud's in the way on this one right now, but who cares? It's always important to recycle your coolant as well. That's why it's going into a drain pan. That's going to go to work. And, yep, there we go. Away she goes. So she's draining out down there. Hey, it's actually going into the drain pan too. How about that? Take your radiator cap off. I'll make it go a little bit faster. There we go. This truck's also got a problem with the heat. I put a thermostat in it a few months ago, because I used to drive this truck almost every day. But it still wasn't getting up to temperature. Didn't have any heat. Brand new thermostat. So I'm thinking I got a faulty thermostat in there. I know I put it in there correctly. Well, I think I did, because, but you know how that shit goes. Because everyone is the greatest mechanic in their own mind. I am no exception. I am the greatest of all time. Okay, got the AC machine all done. System's empty. The goat. So I'm gonna wait for that radiator to stop draining here, or finish draining rather. We'll wait for that to finish draining. Then I'll start unhooking the transmission cooler and the power steering cooler and everything else that needs to be unhooked on it. And then we'll fight with the bolts. I've been soaking those bolts for that core support for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if they're going to come out. They probably won't. They're pretty rusty. If they don't come out, then I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm just going to replace the core support, but hopefully I can get them out. We'll see. When you're under the hood of your old car, you want to check all of your hoses and stuff too, because as these things sit, the rubber in these hoses just hardens right up. You know, just give them a squeeze, make sure they're still pliable. I think these hoses have been replaced before. This truck's from Florida, so it's been in the heat. So I would imagine all of these have been replaced. That's a molded hose, so if they're factory, I'd be surprised. I know the radiator's been done, but you know, like the transmission cooler lines over here, they feel just hard as a rock. So those are going to get replaced at some point. It's got an auxiliary transmission cooler on it. I might just eliminate that, but it's an E4OD truck, so probably good to have that on there. Not like I'm ever really going to tow with it or anything. If I do, it'll be like a small trailer, or I don't know. I'm not going to be doing any major work with this truck. That's why I've got the van. So, yeah. We'll think about putting new hoses on it too, but I don't think we need to do it. That lower radiator hose might need to be done because the thing leaks oil bad. So if it's got oil leaking on it, you probably want to at least check it to make sure it's not all squishy. Once oil hits this rubber, it will swell it. So it swells up, it gets weak, and you don't want that. So check it out, use your best judgment. If there's any question on it, they're cheap. They're cheap. You get a radiator hose for $5, $7, maybe 10. I don't know. Depends on where you're at. I think if you're in California, you could probably get it for like $50, but it will give you cancer, I'm sure. But let's wait for this radiator to drain. It's almost done. It's getting way down there. So we'll drain that out, pull these hoses, and then we can take this whole core support off as a unit. I'm not going to fuck with taking anything apart. It's just going to come off, and we'll put it outside and see what we got after that. Alright, wish me luck. I'm going to go for this first core support bolt. It is a rusty, nasty mess in there, so I'm not expecting it to go very well. We'll see though. Here we go. Oh, get on there. Damn it. There we go. Well, that didn't work. She's stuck, and it's just falling apart. Oh boy. Okay, let's figure something out. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Ingersoll titanium. Let's see if this will break her loose. If not, it'll break it right off. Which I don't want that to happen either, because that's another freaking mess. She broke off. Son of a bitch. That's alright. We can fix that. Let's try the other side too, see if we can break both of them off. What the hell? Why not? Yeah, that one broke too. Okay. Well, guess I got some bolt extraction to do. Shit. Oh well. I'm going to work on getting hoses disconnected. Radiator's done draining now, so I just have to get things disconnected. Both the bolts for the core support broke off. Nothing we can do about that now. I mean, it is what it is. I think they're seized up inside the bushing. There's a body mount underneath there. I think they're seized up. Shit happens. I mean, it's rusty, it's 30 years old, whatever. So let me see if I can extract those bolts from the top, maybe. I might be able to get the nut off of it. I think it's a welded nut, but if I go put enough torque on it, it might break the welds. So we'll see what happens there. If I can get that nut off the top, then we can just lift the core support right off of the thing. Hopefully I can leave it all together. So I'll get my wires off, and my battery tray's got to come off. I have to unbolt my inner fenders from the underside of the core support over here, which is completely fucking rotted out. But it's kind of like I'm talking myself into changing this core support anyway, so it needs to be done. Yeah. A gigantic extension. Because I'm kind of a fat guy, and I don't like bending over and getting all nasty, so I just put a big old extension on the top of this thing. We'll see if we can break this nut loose on this side at least. The other side's pretty crusty. I gotta do some cleanup on it. This one doesn't look horrible though. That didn't sound good. Yeah, she rounded right off. Let's see if we can pound a different side. It's got so much rust built up on it that who knows what size it is anyway. It's probably an 18 mil. I couldn't get an 18 on it before. I could only get a 19 on it. And now 18 goes on there, kind of. Let me grab a little persuader here. Use some persuasion on this. And maybe it'll get it to fit a little bit better. Okay. I think that's it. Let's try it now. See what happens. Nope. Didn't like that. Buttcrack. Nope. Well, that's not going to work. So, yeah. I got to replace the core support. There's no two ways around it at this point. I got to do it. It's rusted out. Whatever. It's got to come apart. It needs to be done. Let's just do it right. Well, we gave it our best shot. So, I'm just going to destroy this core support to take it off at this point. I didn't want to, but that's just me being a cheap Dutchman. It's the old Dutch curse, where you do 3 times the amount of work that you need to just to get the same effect. Wiring's got to come off, unhook the hoses. We'll get her apart at least, get this out of the way so we can kind of assess what's going on underneath it too. If the frame's solid, hopefully the frame's solid up underneath there. It should be, because the rest of the frame's okay. They like to rot out in the back over there. That's all fine. So I don't imagine any of this is bad at all. So let me get it apart and then we'll kind of start on the engine. Get me another snack. This is So far been a 2-snack job. Using only the finest in Craftsman wrenches because that's what I use. See if we can crack this AC line loose. Oh, holy shit, it's actually spinning. Now, remembering that I carefully extracted all of the refrigerant out of this earlier, this should, in theory, not have any pressure. Which it doesn't. Beautiful. I backed away for no reason. See if we get as lucky on this one. We sure did. How about that? Isn't that something?
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
Beautiful. So condenser's disconnected, which went entirely too well. I know something's got to go to hell because something always does when I do stuff. Okay. So let's pull this condenser and yeah, it should be ready to just take the core support out at that point. Let's give her a go. Okay. So, that's your condenser. You know those times when you really regret your life choices? It's one of those times. Damn. That was fun. I had to clean up the shop a little bit, get rid of some old parts, and clean up some of the spilled coolant. Oh shit. Oh god, you can probably see my butt crack. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I've got the wiring harness loose over here, so this wiring harness appears to come through the firewall over there, and it comes around this way. There's only a couple of things plugged into it over here, plus a battery cable that goes down to the starter, which I should probably replace anyway. So I'm going to pull this wiring harness out of the way. We're going to pull the battery tray, and then we'll try and get this core support up off of these mounts. I don't know how good that's going to go, because I think they're rusted right into the mounts. I think the core support's probably going to fall apart in the process, but we'll see what happens. You know, if nothing else, we get to have another snap. So, here we go. So I don't feel so bad now. I looked up a core support for this. I can get a used one for $100. I don't care if it's perfect, as long as it's just not rusted out and like flopping all over the place. I don't give a shit. So I'll probably just order one Monday. So I know I need it already. I think I can probably find the bushings somewhere. If not, I'll come up with something. We'll make it work. Shit. That looks promising. So, off camera, I attempted to get the bolts out of this inner fender down here to no avail. This one rounded right off. The other side is just spinning. It's on one of these like clip nut deals. Clip nut. And I think I just need to break it off. This one's got 1 foot in the grave already. It's rusted off. So I get that ground off of there. So if I go back and forth enough times, the damn thing will break. Here we go! Maybe we'll help it along a little bit. Body hammer on that. Okay, that's not working. Put your safety squints on. We're about to do some serious shit here. my sincerest apologies for all of the ass crack you're going to see. I'm sorry. It happens to me all the time, and I didn't realize that it was like right there in the camera. So, oops. Good God, now that that air compressor shut the hell up. Now we can get this out of here. So, I'm going to pop the door open so this can go right outside. It's going to get dark. Spooky. And over the nose. How about that? All right. Now, bring you out into the driveway here. You can see now we got the core support off the truck, so I think that might be enough for a Saturday. We're ready to start pulling the engine maybe. I don't know what we're going to do next, but we got all kinds of room for activities now. I should probably power wash it, but it's cold. It's like 35 degrees out right now, so I don't really want to leave the door open because it's too cold. We'll figure it out though. Here we go, back inside. Kind of cool. Truck looks like a lowrider now. That air fender dragging on the thing. It's like boom. She's slammed, bro. Slam. Isn't that what the kids do nowadays? Those idiots, they jack up the rear end. Or no, they jack up the front end of the truck. And then they squat the rear end. Because I guess you got to look as stupid as fucking possible or something. I'm not into all that shit. But so anyway, we got all kinds of room to work now. Bumper's gonna come off. That goes in the good parts pile because that's actually a good bumper yet. So we'll save that. And then once we get that off of there, it's just down to disconnecting the engine. I gotta pull the bolts out of the bell housing yet, torque converter. So that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass because I got to get up underneath, which isn't bad. I mean, it's high enough and I can jack it up, and I got a creeper and shit. So obviously I'm in a residential garage here, so I don't have a lift. Not yet. I don't have the clearance for it, so we're working with what we got. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, we got a lot done today. We're pretty much prepped for engine removal once the engine's out of it. I think I'm going to paint it with the engine out. Hear me out here because I really want the core support and everything, or not the core support, but the cowl. I want the cowl to look fine. The cab's just going to get painted on its own. The doors are going to be painted separately. I'm going to use all the same paint though, and then it's going to get cleared all together. So It's going to be the original two-tone with the, what do they call this? This is Regalia Blue. So the Regalia Blue and then the Midnight Dark Blue, Midnight Metallic. All original colors. It's going to look fine. But once we get the engine done, situated, core support on it, it'll be a breeze from there out. That's what I keep telling myself. So, thank you again for watching. If you like the video, I guess like and subscribe. Hit your bell icon. Comment down below. I don't know. Tell me exactly what I did wrong or how much of an idiot I am, because I need to know these things. Enjoy your snacks. Bye.